There really is only one place to start.
Listen, if 125 million gets offered, you're going to want to have a conversation, and Isak's head will be turned.
That kind of offer, that kind of money, we're in a great position. With the base at the moment, it's fantastic. We saw what we did last season with no new signings. You're looking at a juggernaut of a team.
You know, when you were at school and you weren't concentrating, you just write down your dream team. It'd be like that. That is a squad and a team that is designed to go and win the Champions League. I think even Ali McCoist, if you stuck him up front in this
I reckon you might get some goals up front. Hello, welcome back to Inside Liverpool. We're on talkSPORT's YouTube channel. I'm your host, Sam Ellard. Alongside me is the former Liverpool winger, Champions League finalist, Jermaine Pennant, and also top broadcaster. He's got his own Liverpool channel, Cop TV, Alex Trott. Did I get that wrong, the pronunciation? Gildea Trott.
And
are you
also,
happy with me
wasn't he the man of the match in that Champions League final?
Come on then, let's have a little ripple.
Yeah.
He's never mentioned that before, so I don't know. I'm not sure.
He played really well that night.
It's some flexo, isn't it, to be able to... when I hear people introduce you on talkSPORT as former Liverpool winger, Jermaine Pennant, true, but I'm like, let's introduce him as the man that played in a started in a Champions League final for Liverpool. Do you want to? We always mention it on Liverpool. Do you want to? Any memories?
No, there's a little bittersweet moment. When you actually win it, did we? We lost that one.
So handball from Inzaghi.
It was definitely handball. Yes.
Yeah, we don't need to go through. I don't want to.
We needed VAR. We had VAR. We're winning that.
But we did beat them 2 years before.
We'll have 7 if we had VAR.
If we have VAR, you'd have been lifted. I'd introduce you as the Champions League winner.
There you go.
Jermaine Pennant. Yeah.
Don't rub it in though.
No, I'm not rubbing it in. You brought it up, not me.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on, boys.
We are going to talk transfers, and I think it's fair to say over the last 24 to 48 hours, a lot is going on in the world of transfers. There really is only one place to start. That is with Alexander Isak. It was kind of came out on Tuesday evening. The Liverpool are prepared to smash their transfer record for Isak this summer. Now Newcastle are adamant that Isak is not for sale. They want to enhance his £120,000 a week contract, but talks stalled earlier this year. It will take a British record fee of at least £125 million to sign him, but Liverpool's intentions are clear. They will move if they receive encouragement. Jermaine, he's got 3 years left on his deal. We know it's going to take a lot of money to get Isak out of Newcastle this summer. Do you think Liverpool can get this deal done in this transfer window?
Well, I think we can, especially if Newcastle are firmly interested in Ekitike. I think if you're going to be spending Newcastle's transfer record, between 70 and 80 million to try and grab him, they're not going to have that player sitting on the bench behind Isak. So if their intention is to go out and get them, and Liverpool come in with the offer that with, they're being touted as 120, 125 million to break the record, then I think they will listen. No formal offer has been offered to Newcastle. It's just, we're showing interest. But if you put down, here's 125 million, and then we can discuss add-ons, they will have that conversation. They will not turn around and go, no, he's not for sale.
So, at the moment, with Wirtz and Nunez, Salah, and then also Gakpo and Diaz, but we'll talk about Isak as the player, who we obviously know is a world-class centre-forward. When you look, Alex, at the options Liverpool have at the moment in attacking positions, do you think that an out-and-out, genuine number 9 is kind of the icing on the cake in terms of what we have in attacking options?
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about Chiesa maybe staying,
as well. Sorry,
but also playing centrally next season, which I'm a fan of. But yeah, I think, look, the 3-year trial, the 3-year probation of Darwin Nunez, I think has probably expired now. We've got to the point where I think we've gone so far along the road with him, and I don't know about you, Jay, I have never wanted a player for it to work more than Darwin Nunez at Liverpool. And look,
because you know what, I think any fan is going to appreciate and respect and like a player who works, who fights.
We can't fault that.
Exactly that, 100%.
So yeah, listen, if Isak does come through the door, I mean, it's almost nothing's a guarantee in life, right? But from listening to what rivals are saying that aren't Liverpool fans, they're saying, including Robbie and everyone else, they're saying, well, if they get Isak, you can write off the title. And if he does come, incredible. I do have a little bit of an issue with the injury record, I'm not going to lie. I think that's a little blotch.
It's been better in the last year, 18 months, hasn't it?
And you have to give him credit for that, keeping in shape. But the options are simple. It's Ekitike or Isak. Ekitike they're calling him the baby Isak. He's the next Isak. So if you can't...
Sounds good, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, you have to get one of the two. And there's no way that Newcastle end up with both of them.
So look, Isak, we hope it gets done for obvious reasons. But Alex, If it isn't Isak this summer, what do you then think Liverpool's next move is?
Well, Ekitike is the number 2 option, and I think if Liverpool go in for him, because we've heard that they're going to rival the bid, if Liverpool do go in for him, and we understand that Ekitike is going to cost about £86 million, not euros, then they've taken away a target of Newcastle's, but Newcastle have almost preempted that and tried to get him in. I just struggle to see how Eddie Howe plays with both of them in the same team. It's a smokescreen for me. That does not happen, the both of them go there, because if they do play 2 up front, where does Elanga, where does Joelinton, Bruno, Tonali, Gordon, Harvey Barnes, they've got so many players there. So my first choice would be Isak, but I think Liverpool end up with Ekitike, and I think Isak stays at Newcastle. The only thing that will change that is if he or his reps come out and actually almost not force through the move, because he's not that type of kid, but if 125 million gets offered, you're going to have a conversation, and Isak's head will be turned. I know he said to the Newcastle fans, I'm staying, but
that's not for what, is it?
It might get to the stage where he has to force his way out. And I don't think that's him, but I still think he stays there.
I don't think money talks. I think it's all about how much Liverpool want Isak. If they really, really want him, and they put down, a package of 130 million, let's push it to 140, add-ons that can pay over depending on the success Liverpool may have, then it could happen. It could happen. If you go in, with 120, okay, they might not want that, but again, if you start reaching to you want 30s, you want 40s, I think there's a possibility. There's a possibility of him coming to Liverpool, because that kind of offer, that kind of money, the situation that Newcastle are in with their PSR, one of the richest clubs in the world, but they cannot spend.
Yeah, of course.
That will open up a massive door to then invest heavily.
If Alexander Isak is playing for Liverpool Football Club next season, is there a possibility, guys, that Liverpool don't just dominate in the Premier League in the years to come? But you look at that team, you look at the dominance last season and the additions that have come in already this summer before Isak. It's a Liverpool team, Jermaine, that could dominate across Europe for the next 5 seasons, right?
It could, but we've got to look at also, we've got Virgil van Dijk, who's not getting any younger. There's potential of Konate maybe going to Real Madrid next season. But if we're looking at the team now, and we look at the additions that we probably will start making as well, we're in a great position. With the base at the moment is fantastic. We saw what we did last season with no new signings, and the players we brought in now only add benefit to us, only give us strength. And then, like I said, if you throw in a bit of mix of Alexander Isak, then you're looking at a juggernaut of a team. You're looking at the Barcelonas of the heyday. That kind of team is going to be on the structure there.
Do you see that, Alex?
Yeah, if he does come in and you look at the 1 to 11 of Kirkes, Frimpong, Van Dijk, Konate, Alisson, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Bert, Salah. I mean, it's like
Diaz.
When you were at school and you weren't concentrating, you just write down your dream team. It would be like that. Yeah. I mean, the money that would be invested into that team is a team built to not only win in England and the domestic cups as well, by the way. That is a squad and a team that is designed to go and win the Champions League. So yeah, the sky's the limit if he does come in, but if Ekitike comes in as well, then... And
the players we've got, it's not like we're taking massive risk, as in Isak is a Prem player who's done it week in, week out for Newcastle in the Premier League. Kirkes has been absolutely unbelievable at Bournemouth in the Premier League. So these are players who we're not saying, oh, can they handle it? We know they can. Wirtz is a class of its own. He should be able to handle the Premier League. Frimpong, he's been in the, he started at Manchester City, so he knows, he's got a feel for it. Yes, the British football. So we've got a lot of players who are already ready to go.
Do you think, Alex, the fact that this has even come out, Newcastle braced for Isak bid, back of all the papers, Kops, Isak, do you think the fact that this has found its way in the media, that almost Liverpool have allowed it to come, they know what they're doing? Do you sometimes think that if Liverpool knew or didn't have any inkling that Isak wanted their move or they could get the move done, would they have almost allowed this to be on the back page of all the papers on Wednesday night?
Newcastle aren't happy because they haven't actually received a bid yet from Liverpool. But the rumoured bid that Liverpool would be happy to initially go with is 120. So that information going out to public is maybe an unsettling tactic You know, it's Isak going, you've got a decision to make, we're coming, we're about to knock on the door, so be ready for it.
I don't think there's a decision to make from his point of view, is there?
But do you know how Real Madrid have almost little broed Liverpool with the whole Trent thing? There's levels to this game, right? We can all wax lyrical about our teams, but there's levels, right? And with all due respect, I love the people of Newcastle. I think it's an amazing club.
Yeah, great football club.
But there is a level, right, Jermaine? You know, Newcastle's here, Liverpool's here, and Real Madrid's probably above Liverpool.
There's a pyramid. It's all feeding clubs. You've got your absolute elites, you know, which is at the moment is probably Real Madrid. They can take any player from anywhere. Then you go down the pyramid,
For free most of the time
and you
as
got
well.
Liverpool, you know, Barcelona, probably Bayern Munich. Those kind of clubs will then can reach out to any other club in the world, and you know, players will want to go to there. Unfortunately, Newcastle are definitely on the lower spectrum of all of that. So players who they're star players, if you've got Real Madrid, if you've got Liverpool, if you've got Manchester City, their head will be turned, because not only are they know they're going to be competing on a regular basis in the Champions League, they're going to be competing to try and win the Premier League. And that's what these kind of players want to be in. They want to be on the biggest stages, you know, week in, week out, winning trophies.
In the piece in the Mail, Dom King, friend of talkSPORT, said, aside from Isak and Ekitike, Liverpool discussed Ollie Watkins and Johan Visser, the Brentford forward. Victor Osimhen has also been mentioned when there was talks of Darwin Nunez going to Napoli. Just on those names, before I read you the next name, which is going to blow your mind, what are your thoughts on Watkins or Visser? Because you, Alex, said that you think if it's not Isak this summer, we go big on Ekitike, whereas I think if it's not Isak this summer, Liverpool will be tempted to wait for Isak next summer when he's got 2 years left on his deal, and there's a much more likely chance that Newcastle will have to do business. And then I wonder whether this summer, I hate to use the word stopgap because it feels like those players are better than a stopgap. Like Watkins, I think, will score goals. I think we're so good at football. I think any centre forwards of any sort of ability will score goals. So I think that's more likely maybe a 30, 40, 50 million pound signing than perhaps Ekitike, who could cost closer to 100 million pounds.
I think even Ali McCoist, if you stuck him up front in this kind of
You
team,
might get some goals up front.
He gets double figures.
I saw it on social media this morning.
cheers,
What was that all about? Something.
I did a little piece of Adam Morgan.
It's like Pennant's goal against Chelsea. In
That
front of
what
the
a strike
Anfield Road
that
end.
was, by the way.
What a hit that was.
Strike.
Yeah.
Have to check, no chance, right?
Absolutely
You
zero.
want to describe it for the listeners? Mention your champion.
Well, yeah, well, if you don't mind. I think SEN, Steven Gerrard crosses it in. It's going for Crouchy. SEN heads it out. Ashley Cole's running towards me, so I control it on my chest, and on the volley, bosh, crossbar in, over check.
It wasn't just. Did you kind of?
I came across it. I came across it. So off the bar, and then Peter Cech was just, you know, looking.
Peter Cech was thinking.
Was that like January the 1st, 2007 or something like that?
It was on the 14th or the 15th. It was on my birthday or the day before.
Mine's 17th of January.
Yeah,
so
mine's
very
15th,
close.
so it was.
There we go.
But yeah, listen.
And I went out and celebrated. Woo, woo.
I'm sure you did.
There we go.
I'm sure you did. Down Seal Street.
Favourite nightclub spot in Liverpool?
News bars in.
On the docks.
News
That was
cafe,
the one.
yeah.
When you're a professional footballer for Liverpool, we have gone sidetracked here.
Yeah.
Do you sort of, because you're so famous and you like to party, do you have like your own kind of private areas, or were you?
You just have a little VIP area, you know.
You have a VIP,
yeah.
Someone sort that out for you?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
do you call your guy to be like a neat
Well,
spot?
yeah, Frankie saw out a couple, you know.
So a friend sorts it out for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Stevie
okay.
G.
Him and Carragher were in there with him, weren't they?
Yeah.
Well, I saw Carragher in Ibiza.
Oh, did you really?
Oh,
Yeah.
he didn't get in. He didn't get let in, did he? 'Cause
Flip-flops.
he's wearing flip-flops.
Well,
into
at some
somewhere.
place, yeah, but
He's
I saw it,
Carragher
I
didn't
saw
wear
it.
flip-flops.
He still managed to waggle his way in, though,
course
innit?
he did.
saw it, I saw
Yeah.
it.
Do you think he gave, do you know who I am? One of those ones?
No, I don't think he's done that,
That's
but
not-
he's found some shoes from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you saying? That's what he would have done.
No chance. No chance.
I won't wear flip-flops anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He'd
let's
be
go.
walking straight in anyway.
What are we saying? Alternatives then. Instead of going Ekitike and forgetting about Isak, could a stopgap, an Ollie Watkins or someone who I don't think will cost anywhere near as much as Ekitike, could that be an option this season if Liverpool had to wait till next summer to get Isak?
I don't think Liverpool want stop-gaps. I think if they don't get Isak, I think they will go probably may go for Ekitike.
And then forget about Isak.
Yeah. For this year, because like I said, Liverpool have got players who other teams are interested. They can always make money. If Nunez don't go, and Diaz doesn't go this season, they will be back for them. You can get at least close to 120 million for them players. So there's going to be money available next season for Liverpool if they do well in the league, if they do well in the Champions League. So I would prefer to go for Ekitike because he is like if you look at his physique and the way he plays, like I said, he is like a baby Alexander Isak.
Okay. Do you want to research? Do you want to hear something really, really funny? Dom also says in his mail, and Dom's very well connected, isn't he, Alex, for Liverpool? He knows his stuff, right? There we go. I know you do. So after he talks about the Watkins and Visa and Osimhen, he says Manchester United's star, not really a star is he at the moment, Marcus Rashford's name was even floated during a conversation, but nothing has progressed beyond that. Thank God for that. There is little potential for a deal to be pursued, given the question marks about Rashford's form at the moment and obviously his links with Manchester United. So we are saying then, according to Dom, that there was people sat around a table, one goes Ekitike, one goes Visa, one says, hey, what about Osimhen? And then someone, Jermaine Pennant, has gone, what about Marcus Rashford at Manchester United? You've got to be joking me. Where do you even start with that?
Because he is a good player.
Oh.
There's no denying there is a player in there. You saw him when he went to when you saw him when he went to Aston Villa. You saw he came alive. He was happy again, and he was playing.
He had 45 good.
But I'm saying, but there is a good player. But I'm not saying that we should, go and sign him. But you can't deny there is a good player in there. You can't deny Marcus Rashford is a good player at time. I'm just giving you the facts.
This is how seriously I'll take it. This is how far it would have gone. Ekitike, Isak. We don't Rashford. No, God no. Okay, move on. That's how far it would have gone.
What I will know is, I'm aware of that. What I will know is, why was that even there in the first place?
Because you've got to look at options. You don't just, you can't have blinkers on. You've got to look at the whole picture and throw out a few names.
Never, ever happen on his side, on our side, on their side.
But it's worth it, it's worth a dabble.
Oh, it's not worth a dabble.
No, as in to put the name in the hat.
No.
I'd rather Ollie Watkins than Rashford.
On a different hat, in a snapback somewhere else.
Or has someone maybe fed the name in to discuss? Because we've heard that
he's
interested in playing for Barca.
I'm more intrigued by that ridiculous.
But Barca aren't interested in him coming to Barca.
Of course they're not.
So it's a lot of, fish and rods are out there. But
this is how the game works. You throw your names, your hats, and you go, what about X, Y, Z? You go, absolutely not. Okay, fair enough. That's it. That's all it was.
I wasn't happy that it even went that far.
I agree with that as well.
A couple of other transfers. There's lots going on at the moment. Bayern Munich have had a bid rejected, just short of £60 million for Luis Diaz. If an improved offer comes in, potentially around 65, maybe closer to £70 million, would that be something that could interest Liverpool in selling Luis Diaz? 2 years left on his deal.
I think so. Yeah. Because we've got a player in Cody Gakpo there who, I think in the longer run will score more goals than Diaz. And it's a bit more clinical than Diaz, for sure. I think because we've got that player in the ranks, I think they would listen to a 70, 75 million offer for Luis.
Where do you stand? Do you think Diaz will be a Liverpool player next season?
Do you know what? My thing on this one is, why would you want to leave? Why would you want to leave?
It's
Liverpool
because I think his wages are about 55 grand a week.
Well, I've heard that, but I've also heard they're 140 as well.
And he will be on 55 grand a week.
That's why I've heard.
Phillips was on around that, so you can understand if that is the case. But I've heard it's 140 as well. Well, it's worth it just for that alone, really.
But from the club point of view, though, Alex.
You recoup if it look.
Would that be good business for Liverpool?
Yeah, but listen, he came in for 40 mil, I think, in 2022. You go back to his value in the market. It's around 75, and if Liverpool do get that, you take it, right? And you replace him. Rodrigo's there. He's 24. He's obviously got a few years on him. But my thing is I just don't understand why you'd want to leave Liverpool at the minute.
Yeah.
I know he's reported back for pre-season. He's been in training. He's obviously very emotional with everything that's happened recently. But come on, Lucho, sign the deal. Let's keep him. He's better than Anthony Gordon, by the way. I'll put that out there.
I've always found those links with Anthony Gordon also really, really bizarre.
I've seen him in Liverpool the other day, Gordon. That's where he's from, isn't it? So.
Yeah, and he was a Liverpool fan as well. I know played for Everton, but a Liverpool fan growing up. I've always the numbers around him were sort of like around £100 million.
Yeah,
I don't know why Newcastle are valuing these numbers.
It's funny though, if he's worth £100 million and we're talking about Isak at 125, 130,
makes no
there's
sense.
clearly a bigger gap between the two players than that. So I've always thought that Gordon I don't think he's good enough to be a Liverpool player anyway. What do we think about Darwin Nunez as well? It feels like he's been linked with Napoli for a long, long time, and reports today that Napoli are now looking elsewhere. Do you think that he is a player, Jermaine, that we can get off our book? Sounds almost disrespectful, but I think we've all established that it's time now for a change for Darwin Nunez.
Yeah, I
still love him though. By the way.
Yeah, it's just sad. Do you know when we talk about Darwin, it's really sad because the high hopes that we all had in coming in. Yes, his first season didn't really go too well, so we said, right, let's give him another year just to bed in. That didn't really take off, and then it was like, even though we were seeing what we were seeing, some of the chances was missing, some of the performances, we still hung in there. We were still ready to go, do you know what, we'll give you next year.
He occasionally produced a moment of...
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Like,
he did. He produced some games where he's like Darwin Nunez, the Brentford, the Bournemouth goal.
Prague away.
The two, I know she's thinking of the 2-8 at Newcastle, those two finishes. Clinical finishes.
Everyone was saying, right, this is it. This is what he needed. This is going to kickstart his career. We're going to see Darwin Nunez, what he was showing, the kind of numbers he was showing at Benfica. But it's just,
you know what was the breaking
it's just
point
never happened.
It was that miss at Villa away.
Yeah, that was a bad day.
You know, for me, it was even
my dog would have scored
before.
that.
Yeah, it was even before last season when our title challenge fell off, and there were a couple of
there was loads.
Palace at home, he missed some really, Everton, the Derby, missed some really bad chances.
But I love him though.
In 30 seconds, Alex, we've got to wrap. You're up there in Liverpool. Are you hearing any other names? Anything else we should be aware of? Do you think?
Nothing that isn't
or is
already out there.
And then we're done,
yeah, centre forward and potentially a new winger. I think Mark Gahey. Those links have gone a bit quiet. I'd love to see him coming in. And then we've really got a squad that can go all out on every single competition. Win the lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff, gents. Thank you very, very much, Jermaine. I know you've been Ibiza-ing for the last few days, so do you need to go and find a dark room to lie down for the next week?
Yeah, when I get home.
I thought you'd been used to this by now, coming back from
No.
He's going away again on Saturday.
No, that's a detox.
Oh,
I'm going for a detox.
Wellness retreat.
Where are you going?
I'm going Rhodes.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, he lives a life, doesn't he?
Some boy.
Ibiza, talkSPORT, Rose, come back, season starts, living the dream, right?
I won't say that, but yeah.
Jermaine's living the dream. Thank you for watching Inside Liverpool. We'll be back before the season starts. Alexander Isak, will he be a Liverpool player come the start of next season? I'm sorry, Newcastle fans, but let's hope so.